But it's Hades from KaijuThunder. Today I'm coming to you with my first place ABC metalfoe deck profile. I was slightly inspired by the Team Fire spin to make this. I saw their deck of it. It was really good, but I made some changes that I thought would make it better, and it's been running really good. So let's just go ahead and get to the deck profile. First we have 3A Assault Core, 3B Buster Drake, and 3C Crush Wyvern. If you don't know what they do, A, basically, when it's equipped to a monster, it's unaffected by monster effects. B, spell effects. C, traps. When A sent to the grave, it adds a union monster from graveyard to hand. B adds one from deck to hand, and C specials one from hand. And when the metalfoes blow them up and send them to, they get their effect because they were sent to the graveyard. That's why I tech them in, and just pendulum summoning is really good too. And yeah, standard 3 of each because you want to see them in your hand. That's it for the ABCs. Now for the metalfoes, we have 3 Gold Driver because he's a level 4, and then we got 3 Silvered. And then we have 3 Stealing and 1 Volflame. I was thinking of making this deck a 42 card deck, but 1 Volflame and this setup for metalfoes have been absolutely phenomenal, so I'm keeping it how it is. If you guys want to make it a 42 card deck and add another Volflame, you're more than welcome to, but I wouldn't, just in my personal preference because I've been testing it. Okay, now we have 3 Photon Thrasher because the combo's good, and 1 Luster Pendulum, so we can run Ignister, even though it's that one. Both of them. I mean, if you want to make it a 40 card deck, I mean, you can take Ignister out, but I feel 41's good enough as it is. Now for spells, we have 3 Union Hanger and 3 Terraforming. When you can only activate 1 Union Hanger from your hand per turn. When this card's activated, you can add 1 light type Union monster from your deck to your hand. When you would normally summon a light type Union monster, you can target 1 light type Union monster in your deck and equip it to that card. When it comes out, I'm definitely adding Torque Tune in here into the deck, and so yeah. And if it's during your turn, if say you banished for ABC the last turn and then tributed the special summon the other 3, and then this effect will go off to attach. Okay, your turn. If they don't get rid of that, the attach monster is going to be special summon. Activate this effect to attach from deck to that. If you have another Union Hanger in hand, activate that Union Hanger, search a card, and if normal summon that one, you get the effect again. But as for activating the actual spell card, you can only do that once per turn. So that's that. That's basically running 6 copies because you definitely want to see that card. Next, 2 Pot of Desires. If you do not have the money for Pot of Desires, you can do like another Twin Twister and Upstart Goblin or stuff like that, whatever you want to replace these with that you think would help that consistency. I feel actually Upstart Goblin, since this deck is so searchy, definitely one of the cards should be Upstart Goblin, probably a Twin Twister. If you do not have the money for Twin Twisters, you can use Mystical Space Typhoons. 2 Painful Decision to help me get my metalfoe engine going. And 2 Twin Twister. 1 Rhoda because I want to see Photon Thrasher in my hand, and then 1 Metalfoe Fusion. If you don't want Upstart Goblin, you can run a second Metalfoe Fusion just to help with the searching and drawing and stuff. And then for traps, we have 3 Metalfoe Counters and 1 Vanities. This deck is grindy and it's good for quick killing and really good for grinding games. And yeah, it's very slightly slower than the rank 4 build, but it is a stronger build overall because it can make bigger build boards, and it's more grindier and recyclable, so you can keep going longer in the game. Okay, enough of that. Now for the extra deck. First things first, we have 3 ABC Dragon Buster. That's pretty standard. I mean, you could run 2 and add something else if you want, but I prefer 3 because this is really good. He is the boss monster of the deck. During either player's turn, you can discard 1 card, banish 1 card on your opponent's side of the field. During your opponent's turn, you contribute this card as the cost, and then special summon 3 light type Union monsters from your banished zone with different names. Namely, basically A, B, and C. To your side of the field. For more fusions, we have one Orichalc and one Adamante. I feel one Orichalc's fine and one is just fine. Some people's like, why not two? Because I'll run that goes to Emerald, so I can just keep recycle him anyway. So it doesn't matter. One's good enough, and one Adamante is awesome because he just allows you to open do other things. And he is pretty strong. Next we have one Bujinte Tsukiyomi. He is part of the combo in this deck for the first turn ABC Dragon Buster. And he just allows you to have basically two more different cards in your hand. So that's really good. One Dark Rebellion to beat over bigger monsters. And I don't know if I'm going to do it yet, but if I do, I might add a Dark Requiem and that new Phantom Knight rank up card, just to make this deck more bullshit. One Castell, one Abyss Dweller, one Starleech Paladynamo. Starleech Paladynamo is a cheap card and it's underrated. Four level 4 light type monsters. You can detach 2 materials from this card. Target one monster your opponent controls. It becomes 0 attack and its effects are negated. If this card would be destroyed either by battle or card effect by your opponent, you can draw one card. One Rhapsody, its effect is not once per turn. You can detach a material from this card to banish one card in your opponent's graveyard. Then this card can equip to another Exceed monster making 1200 attack. You know where I'm going with this? Dark Rebellion plus Rhapsody. Bullshit. I've had the other day I got my Dark Rebellion up to 6,000 attack because of that. Yeah, Castell, Dagusta Emerald, the Utopias, and then Ignister. Now for the sideboard, I don't have my winter cherries yet, but I will definitely be getting those. If you can't afford them, then just go with this sideboard. I'll tell you what. If you do got them, I'll tell you what to replace. First two Gamma I side them against every deck except for Blue Eyes, because if I cannot get rid of it, Blue Eyes can use it for Exceeds. And for that situation, I use Sticky Strings. To interrupt, plays for pendulums and stuff, this card really, I faced 2 pendulum decks the other day, and this card stopped them from making big plays, and that's Ghost, Ogre, and Snow Rabbit. Blowing up their Sky Iris actually hurt them quite a bit because they couldn't search as much. 2 Alia Justice Cycle Reader. This is good against a lot of different decks that revolve around the graveyard, like Burning Abyss, PK Fire, Blue Eyes, and the Mirror Match. So, basically, if there's 2 cards in your graveyard that's going to hurt you, it has to be actually, no, it has to be light type monsters. So, the Mirror Match and Blue Eyes, okay? If you know your opponent has all 3 ABC monsters in a graveyard, you can, and you have this in your hand, you can discard this and banish those, so they banish 2 of them so they cannot get that play. Or if you're facing Blue Eyes and they have the Whitestone Legends, Ancients, and they just sent it there, you can do this so it doesn't get that effect either. It's up to 2. Anyway, okay, this is a low-key card, and it's really good. 2 Chaos Center. If your opponent special summons a monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. Your opponent cannot special summon monsters, and it's 2,500 attack. That's really good. 2 Union Scrambled. This card, the other day, allowed me to do a big OTK play on my opponent. I bet it's more of a side, in case they're running system downs and stuff. You just Union Scramble, so it doesn't matter much. And I run 2 to make it more consistent. 1 World Decree, because Demise decks are still a thing. 1 is good enough. I would add a second, but I think so far 1's been plenty, more than enough. If you have the Winter Cherries, you replace these cards. 1 Barrier from a different dimension, 1 Master Restrict, because Kaijus and somehow Monarchs are still seeing play. But if you want, you can do Burial from a different dimension, and if you don't have the Winter Cherries, do get this and any other card of your choice. Doesn't matter. Alright guys, that was my first place deck profile. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm Hades and I'm out.